If you like talent shows and singing competitions, then you better watch out for the new NBC show, The Voice. I'm sure you've seen the adverts on TV already. I think it's NBC4, and the show will start soon, and it's all about true singing talent, none of it focusing on looks or how you look like on stage or any of that. It's just about your talent. And 4 of the most famous stars in the Arab world will be the judges on the show and will choose the contestants based on nothing but their voices, much like the American version. And the judges chosen are Kathim Al-Sahar, Saber Al-Rubay, Shireen, and Asi Hilani. And so I just want to know, do you agree with the choice of the judges, or do you think that they could have done better? Who would you prefer to be the judges on NBC's The Voice? And an upcoming request by Anastasia, who texted in, we've got Calvin Harris, Let Go, playing out for you. That was Carly Rae Jepsen with Call Me Maybe on your afternoon buzz. You're chilling with your girl Charlie Cakes and still taking in your requests and your dedications. The number to text is 90406. Keep it here for more on 90.4.
This is the new shit. Yeah. 3, 2, 1. The Afternoon Buzz. The Buzz. Afternoon Buzz with Charlie Cakes.
Listening to the Afternoon Buzz with Charlie Cakes, the one-way ticket to a great afternoon.
The Buzz.
Real people, real energy.
And more.
New is always better.
That is so awesome.
Weekdays on your nation station. Radio Salt of Oman. 90.4 FM. Check it out.
What's buzzing? It's your girl Charlie Cakes on your afternoon buzz on 90.4 FM. And I have plenty of shout outs to make. Thank you guys for sending in your requests. Shout out to Faris, Adichie, Toli, Zaid, Gamal, Ahlam, Jumaima, and Kulthum as well, and a couple of unknown texters who sent in their requests. Thank you guys for texting in. I absolutely love to hear from you. And I'm also loving today's show because you're being so responsive, and your request just reflects, your very diverse and very, very great taste. I'm looking forward to the playlist. And the number to text me is 90406. Again, you can log on to our Facebook page and like us, the Buzz-90.4 FM, and you can email me as well on thebuzz.radio904@gmail.com. But I would really like it if you just went onto our Facebook page and liked us over there. I'll repeat it again. It's the Buzz-90.4 FM. And more importantly, I'm going to get back to the buzz right now. But still, I'm just saying, I would love to hear from you online, especially because it's free. And now I'm going to take you all the way to China, where we head to our bizarre buzz. China's rich can hire body doubles to serve their prison time. As shocking as it sounds, the practice of hiring body doubles to serve jail time in the place of rich and powerful individuals is well documented in China. So if you thought perhaps your country's legal system was corrupt, I guess you just have to think again. Sure, it's not very surprising considering even in some Western countries where the legal system is considered different and with unpleasing situations, and perhaps the wealthy are shown more leniency. For example, Paris Hilton, anyone? I don't know, I'm just saying. However, only in China, the so-called 1% has a different way of dealing with unpleasant situations like serving time in prison. And instead of wasting their time behind bars, they pay stand-ins who, for the right sum of money, are willing to take their place. And it's this kind of replacement convicts, if you'll call them that, which have apparently been part of Chinese culture for centuries, and it was one of the first things that visiting Westerners reported on. about the country's legal system. And apparently in 1899, Ernest Alabaster, a scholar of Chinese criminal law, wrote that the courts permitted the real offenders to hire substitutes and that such things frequently happen. And in the case of Hu Bin, a wealthy 20-year-old who accidentally killed a pedestrian while drag racing in the streets of Hangzhou, it really drew attention to the phenomenon known as dingzhu, which is what they call hiring a stand-in to take your place while serving a prison sentence. And photos of Hu Bin and his rich friends while waiting for the police to arrive on the scene caused public outrage, but it was nothing compared to the allegation that the man who appeared in court and served 3 years served the 3-year sentence was not Hu, but a paid body double. And I have seen the pictures myself online, and the two actually look very, very, very similar. You couldn't tell the difference really, you know. They did a good job finding a body double. And while it was never proven that Hu Bin did hire a body double to take his place in jail, the lenient sentence of 3 years for killing a person is bizarre enough. And considering others involved in similar accidents were sentenced to death, so I think that says something, perhaps. And the latest alleged case of a hired body double involved Gu Kaila, the Chinese woman convicted of murder. And according to the rumors on social networks, she also hired a woman to serve her suspended death sentence. I will post the link up on our Facebook so you can check that out. Very, very interesting. And there are pictures of the real convict and then pictures of their body double, so you guys can check it out and tell me what you think, and you can comment on the link on our Facebook. Now we're gonna go to Ukraine, where Sleeping Beauty comes to life. And in a real life Sleeping Beauty exhibit, the exhibit people are actually contractually bound to marry their Prince Charming. Aptly named Sleeping Beauty, a controversial art exhibit in the National Art Museum of Ukraine has real-life Sleeping Beauties waiting to be woken up by true love's kiss. And just like in the famous fairy tale by Charles Perrault, only these fair maidens are bound by contract to marry their suitors if they open their eyes while being kissed. And the Sleeping Beauty exhibit was very close to having a very unhappy ending when the creator Taras Polatiako was called to the museum director's office and told by the Ukrainian Ministry of Culture that he would be shut down. However, luckily, after meetings between the ministry and the museum, everything was sorted out and the beauties are now free to find their beloved. The unusual art exhibition started on August 22nd and will run all the way to September 9th. What do you buzzers think? I personally think it's kind of romantical. And I know romantical is not a real word. It's just something I say. You can let me know. Do you think it's romantic or do you think it's weird? You can text me on 90406. Again, I will post the link on our Facebook. And still globetrotting, I'm going to take you to Queens now, all the way in New York. And I just have to spit out a rhyme. I'm not good at this, but I came up with it during the break. Bee infestation on your nation station. I'm sorry, I had to do that. 3 million bees were seized from Queens, New York in a man's home. Yijin Chen had beehives packed in the backyard, about 45 hives in total, said Andrew Coate, president of the New York City Beekeeper Association. Coate said that Chen, a beekeeper in his native China, had contacted the Beekeepers Association earlier in the month for help with the bees because he was trying to sell his Corona Queens home. Chen allegedly started with 1 hive a couple of years ago, but the insects kept multiplying. And Coate says Chen's real estate agent contacted him a few weeks ago and told him that Chen, who only speaks Mandarin, had 4 or 5 hives that he wanted to sell. But when Coate arrived at the home, he was shocked to find it was actually 45. Oh, lost in translation. He was quoted as saying that's something like 3 million bees, which is more bees than there are people in Queens. Now the bees, it looks like they're being taken away and they're being removed from the house. And I'm sure that is to the relief of his neighbors who, it's